Good morning, teacher and classmates. Today, my classmate Ale, Aldana, and I, Alejandro, are going to talk about subject knowledge for teaching. In general, this topic talks about the knowledge and points of view that each teacher develops personally, their perspective on the subject to be developed, and what the teachers want to achieve through what they will teach to their students. The first point of this topic is cognitive content, which refers to the learning and experiences that the teacher has to acquire. Of course, this cognitive content includes the process of thinking, knowing, remembering, judging, and solving problems that the teacher has to develop. The next point is about the skills that a teacher must have in order to enhance their classes and help their students. For me, I think it's important that the teacher be empathic and that he knows how to listen to the opinions and concerns of his students. That is, that he has a good communication with his students, and that he be a teacher who is interactive with his classes, and a teacher should be friendly and have the ability to have a good relationship with his students. And of course, that he be a responsible teacher, and that at the same time he can demonstrate his authority in front of their students. Then we have a point about the theory that, as we have already seen, it's very important that a teacher manages to acquire a lot of knowledge during his time at the university, so that all this theoretical knowledge can be applied in practice. As well as we had previously discussed, theory and practice are always related. Now, my classmate Ale will continue explaining the following points.
Hello everyone, my name is Alejandra Aldana, and I'm going to continue talking about the subjects of knowledge and the processes and the structures and the connections to other subjects in order to keep understanding how we can fully understand how the subject of knowledge works and all the aspects that we must take into account. First up, we had the processes. The processes consist of a series of methods that we must follow in order to create an appropriate environment for our classes. For example, we need to know about the language by having a knowledge about the language by learning it and being able to understand it and to be able to explain to our students how this works. Then we have to have communication skills in order to explain properly our ideas and how we can work with our students and how our students might be able to understand the subject or the topics that we're taking into account. Then we must have reading and writing strategies in order for us to be able to understand uh, the processes about grammar and rules, about learning more vocabulary. Also, this will help us with with the communication skills and to be able to know the pronunciation of our students and how we can help them to become to have a better pronunciation. Then we must have certain knowledge about another aspects because to relate into another subjects, but we're going to at the end of this presentation. Then we need to have a structure for our teaching plan. However, we have to do. First, we need to identify the objectives, what we must achieve, and how what our students might while learning the strategies. This is partly of the structure of a teaching a class. Then we have to watch for students, what are their needs, what is the most important for them to know. Then we need to plan our own resources and materials, what are we have to do after we watch how our students are and how what is the best way for them to learn English. Then After this, we need to start to instruct and present the information. We need to instruct about the topic we are teaching, and then we need to engage our students on this and how they can learn more appropriately about this. Then we must allow time for student practice. We need to do homework, we need to do some activities on the classroom, and for them to understand the topic and all the information that they have. And after that, we need to evaluate what they did and how they can get better for the future, for an exam, for another topic, because in that moment we already know the needs that our students have. Then finally, we have the connection with other subjects, and I think this is one of the most important because this will help us to realize that English doesn't work only about grammar rules, about certain types of writing and reading text. It works for every kind of subject and how we can help our students to relate this to a subject that they might like. For example, if they like literature, then we can study English in the literature aspect. If they are more interested in being an engineer or something like that, but then we might relate English to this and another subject. And I think having all these steps into account might help us to realize that English is not only about the subject, English as a subject is not only about being able to teach and being able to learn,